Welcome to This Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today because we're tackling something that is just incredibly fascinating and honestly, deeply personal. Right now, literally as you're going through this explainer, your brain is actively lying to you. And I don't mean just once in a while or, by accident. I mean every single day. Your brain is lying to you. Okay, it feels a little unsettling to hear, right? But stick with me here because over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how this psychological trickery actually happens. We're going to look at the exact mechanics of how your mind deceives you, and way more importantly, I'm going to reveal one simple thing you can do tonight, just one thing, to catch your brain right in the act. All right, let's dive into this. Section 1. The memory myth. Does memory work like a video camera? Think about your own life for a quick second. When you remember your high school graduation, or even just what you had for breakfast yesterday, do you feel like you're just pressing play on a recording stored somewhere up in your head? Most people believe that something happens, it gets recorded onto some mental tape, and then later you just watch it back exactly as it occurred. All the sights, all the sounds, perfectly preserved. Well, I am here to enthusiastically tell you that this is completely false. The truth is actually much stranger and honestly way more interesting than you might think. Moving to Section 2, the twist. Looking at the 1990s car crash experiment. We're looking at Group A with the word hit versus Group B with the word smashed. This is a pivotal moment in psychology from a brilliant researcher named Elizabeth Loftus. What's absolutely fascinating here is the tiny, almost invisible variable she changed. She showed two separate groups of people the exact same video of a car crash, and then she asked them to estimate the speed of the vehicles. For Group A, she asked, how fast were the cars going when they hit each other? But for Group B, she swapped out just one single word. She asked how fast were the cars going when they smashed into each other. That one word, smashed instead of hit, completely changed the memory output. Group B reported significantly higher speeds. But guys, here is the real kicker. There was no broken glass, none at all in the video. Yet the people in the group who heard the word smashed actually generated a totally false memory. They vividly recalled seeing broken glass scattered all over the scene of the accident. Literally, just by hearing a heavier, more violent word, their brains went all the way back into the memory and just painted broken glass right into the picture. No way, right? So, Section 3, how reconsolidation works. Hard drive versus storyteller at a party. Listen, creating false memories like that broken glass, it's not some biological flaw. Your brain isn't broken. We used to think the brain stored memories like a hard drive, like computer files you just save and open without any changes. We gotta throw that analogy out entirely. Instead, your brain is actually like a storyteller at a party. Every time you recall a memory, you're pulling fragments from all these different regions of your brain and rebuilding the story from scratch. And just like telling an epic story at a party, the details shift around. You quietly drop the parts that don't really fit who you are today, and you naturally just weave in the emotions you're feeling right now to make the story hit harder. Reconsolidation, the process where recalling a memory makes it unstable for a moment, causing it to be rebuilt and resaved, often slightly changed. Scientists use the specific word for that party storyteller effect. Let's break this down, because really grasping this is absolutely crucial. Every single time you bring a memory to mind, it doesn't just sit there securely. The very act of remembering makes that memory chemically unstable for a brief moment. Your brain then literally rebuilds it and resaves it. And during that resaving process, it often gets slightly changed. You aren't recalling the original event anymore. You are recalling the last time you remembered the event. Why are siblings so certain about different childhoods? Well, this perfectly explains it. If you have brothers or sisters, you have for sure experienced this. You're arguing across the Thanksgiving table about the exact same childhood vacation, right? You both have completely different details, and you are both absolutely certain that you're right. Well, because of reconsolidation, neither of you is lying. Both of your brains just rebuilt that unstable memory slightly differently over the years. Let's look at Section 4, the real-world stakes. Eyewitness testimony versus DNA evidence. Sure, it's a fun psychology trick when we're talking about sibling rivalries, but the real-world stakes of our storytelling brains are incredibly high. For decades, eyewitness testimony was the absolute gold standard in the courtroom. Juries implicitly trusted a confident witness pointing a finger, swearing under oath they saw a specific face or a specific weapon. But the advent of DNA evidence has exposed a pretty terrifying reality. It's overturned an enormous number of wrongful convictions. And in a lot of these cases, the eyewitnesses weren't maliciously lying. Their brains had simply used reconsolidation to build a vivid, hyper-confident memory that just wasn't true. The wrong face was accidentally stitched into their internal story.
everyday false memories. Now, thankfully, most of us aren't dealing with intense courtroom drama every single day, but this same process is quietly operating in our everyday lives. Think about that massive argument you had with a friend last year. Thanks to reconsolidation, your brain has likely rewritten the script over time, so you remember yourself being, well, kind of much more reasonable than you probably actually were. Or think about some embarrassing moment from high school. Your brain has probably massively exaggerated just how many people actually noticed you trip in the cafeteria.
Moving on to Section 5, Protecting Your Mind. 60 seconds a day. Knowing that our brains are constantly editing our past, what can we actually do about it? Well, we're not totally helpless here. It takes less than 60 seconds a day to implement a habit that will dramatically protect the accuracy of your memories. Let me show you exactly what to do. Step 1, hold loosely. Step 2, write it down the same day. Step 3, be patient with others. Here's your 3-step action plan. Step 1, hold your memories loosely. Add a mental asterisk. The next time you find yourself in an argument feeling absolutely certain something happened exactly the way you remember it, just add that small mental asterisk. Acknowledge that, hey, you might be right, but your brain also might have quietly filled in the gaps. Step 2 is our 60-second habit. Write it down the same day it happens. And step 3, be patient with others. Remember that when someone disagrees with your memory, they usually aren't trying to gaslight you. Their brain genuinely reconstructed a different version of events, and they believe it completely. A journal entry written today is far more accurate than your memory of today will be 5 years from now. I really want to zero in on step 2 for a second. Why is writing it down so absolutely crucial? Because when you write down the events of the day tonight, you are capturing the raw data before the brain has had years to make it unstable, rebuild it, and alter it through that process of reconsolidation. It is literally the ultimate mental snapshot. Your brain is a storyteller, not a recording device. So what should you really take away from all this? It's simply that your brain is a storyteller, not a recording device. It edits, it reshapes, it occasionally gets things completely wrong, all while feeling 100% certain that it is right. But you know what? Knowing this doesn't make your memories worthless. It actually empowers you. It means you understand that the version of the past up in your head is just a story you're still writing. And keeping that in mind can honestly save you a whole lot of unnecessary frustration in your relationships. Has anyone ever remembered an event completely differently than you did? Before we wrap up today, I want you to really think about this question. Now that you know the science of reconsolidation, how does that change your perspective on that past argument? I would absolutely love to hear your experiences, so please tell me all about it in the comments. And if this explainer changed how you think about your own mind, make sure to subscribe, because in our next explainer, I'm going to show you the incredibly sneaky memory trick that advertisers use to make you believe you loved a product before you even tried it. You definitely won't want to miss that. I'll see you next time.